Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the damn Q&A. Thanks for joining. Today I'll be doing a review of a game that's not an RPG, but it's one of those that left a huge impact on me, so I really want to talk about it. And I'll probably upload that clip on my second channel. So yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome to your damn questions. I'm ready, I know you're ready, so start shooting right off the bat, not even 1 minute in, and the first question is... How's it? Okay, how's it? Well, how's it? Yeah. I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you? I don't know where this music comes from. Today I picked up a bunch of themes from, all of them from JRPGs. But this one in particular, I have no idea where it's from. I know I've heard it before because I have it on my computer, but I have no idea where it's from. It sounds like it might be from a Nintendo DS game, maybe Lunar Nights. I don't know. So, do you remember how sometimes we play a stupid game called Guess the Song? We haven't done that in a while. Well, today, let's play that game again for a few songs because I don't remember. I just picked a lot of random songs from my playlist. I have this huge playlist full of JRPG music that I often use for my videos, whenever I talk about certain games. Whenever I talk about any game whatsoever, I add music in the background, music from that game I'm covering, so I have a lot of songs. But I can't memorize every single song, right? Neither can you. But if you recognize this song, let me know. I think it's from Lunar Nights on the Nintendo DS because it sounds a little bit like with that little sound chip from the Nintendo DS, like an evolution of the Game Boy Advance. But I might be wrong. I think it's from Lunar Nights, published by Konami. Konami RPG, developed by Hideo Kojima. Little action RPG with two main characters, exclusive to the DS, kind of expensive now. And this one is from Soulvars. I mean, you listen to something like this and you're like, that's from Parasite Eve. That's Yoko Shimomura. No. This is from the game Soulvars. Soulvars. An indie... Well, it's not exactly an indie RPG developed by Geno Lab and Success. Developers of Rondo of Swords, Operation Darkness. This game is fucking brutal, man. Anyway, before I answer some of your questions, I want to make a poll because I just want to see how much interest there is in other video game genres. I'm pretty sure most of you play other video game genres. I mean, the answer should be pretty obvious, but I need to see how much. So let's make a poll. Engage with your audience. Start a Q&A. I'm already doing that. What happens if I start a Q&A? I'm already doing that. Let's click on that first. Let's see what happens. I've never done that. Oh, it's just a question. That's dumb. It's just a question, you can reply to it. I mean, you gotta be shitting me, man. Okay, let's start a poll. Do you even care about other video game genres? Yes, no. That's it. Do you even care? Maybe you play them, but maybe you don't care. I need to know if you care. I'm not planning anything, don't worry. There's no hidden agenda with this question. There you go. Start answering. Start voting. Do you even care about other video game genres? There you go. Most people are gonna say yes, but I just need to know how many, how much. So, Union Gamer asks, which JRPGs are you excited for to release between now and December? Well, I wish I could say Eiyuden Chronicle, but it's been delayed until next year. I don't know if that's good news and bad news. I think it's a bit of both. And we've heard nothing about the Fate Extra remake. So, and East 10 is going to be released in September, but only in Japan. So those are my three most anticipated JRPGs. But all three of them won't be released in North America this year. So yeah, what a bummer. I'm excited for Monochrome Mobius. It was already released last year, but only on PC, and I just asked for a review code on PS4. So hopefully I'll get it, because that's part of the Uta Warerumono universe, and I'm a huge fan now of Uta Warerumono. This is too loud. And another game I'm excited for is, in a couple of weeks, the sequels to Rhapsody, A Musical Adventure. Somebody just asked about it. Yes, I did play that game, and believe it or not, I'm a fan of it. So, the game 20 years ago got a couple of sequels, never came out of Japan, but now, until now, they are finally releasing them on the Switch, PlayStation 5, and PC. I also asked for a review code to NIS America. Maybe I'll get them and I'll play them. What else? Well, there's a couple of remakes coming up. Super Mario RPG, Star Ocean 2. Good looking remakes, both of them. Well, I think Grand Blue Fantasy is finally going to be released this year. I think they announced it for this year. So I'm also pretty excited for that too. So that's my answer. Should I buy the Chrono Cross Remaster? Yes, you should. It used to have a few frame rate issues, but they have been patched. They have been fixed with a patch. So yeah, definitely you should buy it. No matter the platform it's on, you should buy Chrono Cross. What do you think about Street Fighter 6 World Tour, if you tried it yet? Thank you, I've been meaning to get into that question, into that game. I finally played it. I went to my buddy Oscar's house last week, and he kept insisting that I play the game, precisely because it's a bit of an open world game and there's an adventure mode and whatnot. But it's combat, it's still a 2D fighter, right? So I went to his house and we played a couple of matches. And the first thing that I immediately realized about that game is that it's extremely woke and politicized. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And but I did like the fact that, well, the controls feel kind of fine for some characters. I've always been a Chun-Li fan since my Street Fighter 2 days on the SNES. I used to be badass with her, and I also picked her a lot in Street Fighter Alpha. But I think I've answered this question before. Not this question, like I've talked about this Street Fighter before and how I stopped being a fan of the series a long time ago. Ever since Street Fighter 4 came out, I didn't like it. Street Fighter 5, same, and several spin-offs have been there. I don't like Street Fighter anymore. I think I like Street Fighter from Street Fighter 3, which is Alpha, and before that. And maybe the third strike on the Dreamcast, and that's it. That's as far as I go with Street Fighter. I stopped liking Street Fighter because the controls started feeling more more sluggish, more technical, instead of the fast-paced action I usually love in fighting games. And I don't know, the character design just kept looking fatter and fatter. Yes, fat. The guys, everybody, including the girls, started looking more fat and more muscular and more like, what the fuck am I playing now? I mean, what is this? I mean, I don't know, man. It turned me off. But it was mostly the fighting system, the battle system that turned me off. So when I played Street Fighter 6 for the first time last week at Oscar's house, I was like, man, it's still the same. Sure, it felt a little bit better than 4 and 5, but it's still the same, man. So the only good thing about Street Fighter 6 was Cammy in her original outfit. Because I picked Chun-Li and I sucked with her. I couldn't control her. I sucked with her at 4, 5, and now in 6. But I picked Cammy because I want to see her outfit. Her new outfit, I don't know, it's kind of like, too modernized for my taste. Just kidding. But her original outfit in Street Fighter 6, holy shit, man, that's some of the best fan service I've seen in my whole life. So I think in terms of fan service, Street Fighter 6 did not disappoint, especially if you choose the original outfits. And Kami's outfit is like the original outfit. Man, that's a sight for sore motherfucking eyes. And I played with her and I actually did good. You know, I was controlling her okay. I was doing pretty well, right? But that's it. That's it. You know, the game didn't appeal to me. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna play it. I didn't buy Street Fighter 5. I didn't buy Street Fighter 4. So I don't really care for it. And the last thing I want to say about it is that about the open world, we got into this tutorial where they teach you how to fight and how to move, and I was like, I mean, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And you create this ugly looking customizable character, and I'm like, man, why can't I play the open world with Cammy? And walk around and run around the cities with Cammy. I can't do that, so fuck this. I don't know. Fuck Street Fighter 6. The only good thing about it is Cammy, and that's it. Oh man, Ashoka Tano. Thanks, man. I'm pretty sure you don't play visual novels. Actually, you're right. I don't, but I've played a bunch. I highly recommend The House of Fata Morgana. Yeah, I've seen it, and I've been... People have recommended that game to me before. It seems pretty interesting, and it's highly rated in Metacritic, your favorite website for video games. Fuck that website, honestly. So, it's a gothic tale filled with twists and turns. Still my favorite visual novel of all time. It's on Switch and pretty sure on PS4. Yeah, I know that. I know it's on Switch and PS4. I'll find a way to play it. I just need the price to be right. So I will, don't worry. I'll get it eventually. I really want to play it. One visual novel that I liked. Well, I like a lot of RPGs that are like half visual novels, like Sakura Wars, both games. And what else? Well, Utawara Rumono, I'm a big fan of the series now. But, yeah, most visual novels where you do absolutely nothing but read and make choices, I'm not really a fan of those. But I played some. One that I remember fondly is one called, it's a comedy called Our World Is Ended. The sentence makes no sense, but that's the name of the game. It's a comedy, it's a fun comedy, and I like the game. And I've recommended that visual novel before. So I'm not entirely against visual novels. I like them. Thanks for the donation, buddy. What about Sea of Stars? I'm looking forward to it. I know you're a self-published author. With that, have you read the 11th cycle? Never heard of it, man. If it's compared with Dark Souls, I'm not interested. I find Dark Souls and its lore and its story quite boring. Berserk, though, I'm a big fan, so maybe I'll like it. I'm not a fan of how Trails into Reverie developed. Linear, no side quests, way too much Avengers. No side quests. It does have a few side quests inside the Reverie corridor. But yeah, in the real world, there are no side quests. You're right about that. Is Kuro no Kiseki similar? I have no idea, man. I haven't played it. It's not even out and it's not fan translated, or is it? I don't know. Haven't played it. Street Fighter Beach Volleyball win. I'll play that instead of Street Fighter 6. In one of your videos you said that Sword Art is a ripoff of Dot Hack. That is in fact wrong. If you look it up, author of Sword Art Online wrote it in 2001, even before the first hack was released. Oh really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. But well, you gotta understand that Dot Hack Infection came out in 2002. So could it be a coincidence then? Could it be that no one ripped off anybody? But I just can't think that it's not a coincidence considering they're both published by Bandai Namco. So maybe I need to do more research and look into that. You're right, because I've always been interested in the Dot Hack series and how much Sword Art Online ripped off from it. So maybe you're right, maybe the manga came before, but the anime came afterwards. And when I watched the anime, because I watched the anime on day one, its first day when it was released, and I remember watching the first episode and being like, man, this is Dot Hack all over again, what's going on? And then their games started being published by the same company, Bandai Namco, and I was like, this can't be a coincidence. But I don't know, I have to look it up. Which studio games do you most look forward to? Probably Vanillaware or Atlus, Falcom, Tri-Ace. Those are my favorites. Thank you, Kiss. Thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3? I've never been a fan of the series, so there you go. Did you play Valkyrie Profile 2 before the original? Yes, I did. Years before I played the original, actually. I think I played Silmeria back in 2006, probably. And the original until 2008. Yeah, 2 years later. Why? Why that question? Sword Art Online is not published by Bandai Namco. Oh yeah, I know. Just the games. Not the book, not the manga. I don't know if that's true, but Trails copied from Sword Art Online. So would that make Trails a Dot Hack clone? What? What exactly did Trails copy from Sword Art Online? What's next on your backlog? Well, it's I'm playing currently Zanki Zero. I went back to it. I had abandoned it for a long time, for years, man, for like 4 years. Hadn't touched that game in 4 freaking years. And I just randomly last night decided to go back to it. And it took me a while to get used to it because I was like several hours into it and I was like, man, I'm just not gonna restart this from the very beginning now. And it all came back to me, thankfully, after 4 long years, probably because I've covered the game a few times. I'm not sure if I've covered it this year. Maybe I have, right? Forget. Probably last year. And sometimes when I cover a game that I haven't played in years, either I go back to it and replay it to refresh my mind, or I don't, and instead I watch some gameplay footage, or I rewatch my old Let's Plays. I streamed that game, and it all came, without doing any of that, the game just came back to me, and I was like, oh man, I do remember this game pretty well. Probably because I put many hours into it, because sometimes I ditch RPGs that I only play for like an hour or 2 hours, and I do have to restart them because I don't understand anything anymore, especially the complex ones, and this is a complex one. Zanki Zero is one of the most unique JRPGs I ever played, and I'm about to talk about it again. I want to talk about it again. I don't know how soon, but soon, and that's it. That's all I've been playing lately. I was playing Wargroove, but I'm kind of taking a break because the game's stupidly hard. But it's a strategy, game, not an RPG. It's a strategy game, and it's stupidly addictive too. So I really want to play it and finish it. And yesterday, before Zanki Zero, I also finally, at long last, played the DLC from the DioField Chronicle, which was also fucking brutal. Unlike the game itself, you play the DioField Chronicle on normal mode, and it's a balanced game. Sure, it slowly starts getting more challenging, but it's nothing impossible. And this DLC, which is Walta Queen's story, Walta Queen is one of the main characters in the game. This DLC came out this year, I think, and wow, it's fucking hard, man, but I managed, and I beat it, and I loved it. But I was a little bit disappointed in terms of story, because, super small spoiler alert, it's not about Walta Queen after the game's events, or after the plot twist. No, it's before all of that. So story-wise, it was kind of like, yes, I learned a little bit more about her, but that's it. I mean, I wish it could have been the story after the plot twist or after the game, after the game's main story, you know. That would have been more interesting, like some kind of small sequel to it, like what The Answer did for Persona 3. But it isn't long. I think it's less than 10 hours. It's probably like around 5 hours or so, this DLC. Probably less. 3 hours maybe. Yeah, 3 hours definitely. And I do recommend that if you like the DioField Chronicles, this DLC is completely free. All you have to do is boot the game up again, and it'll automatically install. And you can play it's like 4 or 5 missions and a bunch of stupidly impossible side quests that I gave up on. I died way too many times, even on casual mode. But the main story, stick to normal mode, and you can beat it in like 3 hours. Very recommended. I like the DioField Chronicle. And it didn't disappoint. It's the same game, gameplay-wise. The same. I mean, nothing was improved. Same battle mechanics. And if you like the Diofield Chronicle and you also like Walta Queen, I mean, you need to play it because, I mean, it's fan service for Walta Queen fans. And you control her in the base. There's a small base where you can just walk around with her and you walk around and I don't know, it's fucking stupid, but I liked walking around with Walta Queen. Wish she could have been the true main character of the game. But maybe not really because Andreas is a very interesting main character, main protagonist. Unusual main character in a JRPG. Not about the power of friendship, not the charismatic teenage saving the world or fighting God. No, I mean, Andreas, the main character, he's a pretty interesting character. But Walta Queen is a fantastic female co-protagonist. So this game is fan service, but it's fan service done right. And the missions are freaking brutal, but this is an overly addictive game, at least for me personally, so I do strongly recommend this free DLC from the Diofield Chronicle. And it's not even a DLC, like I said, it's more like an update. You don't need to manually go into the PlayStation Store or the Switch Store and download the DLC. It automatically updates. It's just something the developers added to the game. Thank you, Lancarse and Square Enix, for doing that. I really enjoy this story arc, but in terms of story, it kind of disappointed me a little bit. But yeah, super strongly recommended this update. Sorry, Calvin Cabada. Thanks a bunch for the donation. He says, you give me conspiracy theorist vibes. I may be wrong, there's always more than meets the eye. The world is so damn big, so many unsolved mysteries. Yes, I'm not exactly what you can call a conspiracy theorist guy. More like I am one of those people who actually believe the conspiracy theories. Therefore, I don't call them conspiracy theories because to me they are facts. It's all how you perceive them. It's all a matter of opinion, as always. But I guess some people could perceive me as a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I'm one of those that think that I don't want to get into that because I can't get into that. You want to get into that? Join my Patreon so you can listen to my private podcast and I get into that topic a hell of a lot, man. In fact, there's a brand new episode that I recorded and uploaded 2 days ago. So now there's been 8 episodes. What are you waiting for, guys? You're one click away from joining my Patreon page to listen to my podcast and listen to all 8 episodes. And if you don't like them, you can just cancel. I mean, it's only $5. $5 freaking dollars. But the point is that I boarded the conspiracy theory themes about the government, about the economical crisis the world is going through right now. So yeah, if you're a fan of that, consider joining my podcast. Okay, let's take a look at the poll. 90 votes, 90, almost 100 votes. The question is, do you even care about other video games? Most people are answering yes. They say 86%, but there's still 14% that says no. Interesting. Hey, sweet life of Dio Brando. What's up with the music, man? This is from Chaos Wars. I'm about to talk about that game pretty soon. Find myself returning to games that I say I won't return to, normally turn-based. Do you as well? Yes, I returned recently to Sankey Zero, and for years I was like, man, I played like, I don't remember how many hours, and that's it. That's why I barely covered that game. I think I covered Sankey Zero like 4 times, maybe 3, in my whole YouTube lifespan so far. But I went back to it. So yeah, I don't do that often at all. Actually, whenever I look at a game and I ditch it, 9 out of 10 times I never go back to it. But there's that one time where I do go back to them. So it happens to me too, but not as often. Just got an Xbox Series X and I was looking for the best JRPGs for the system. Any recommendations? Just watch any PS4 JRPGs video, man, and you're good to go. I mean, or PS5 maybe. Both have almost the exact same library when it comes to JRPGs. You can play Tales of Arise, you can play Scarlet Nexus, you can play Ys 9, Ys 8. So there. Oh well, I don't know if those last two are on Xbox Series X. Sorry. Persona 5 Royal, I'm pretty sure it's there. So there you go. I don't doubt that Night in the Nightmare is pretty fun when you figure it out, but it's one of those games like Resonance of Fate to me, or Natural Doctrine. I just don't want to figure them out, because I already tried several times and I failed. What I'm trying to say is that I don't like the games. I don't care if they can be the best JRPGs of all time if you figure them out. Nothing makes me want to try to figure them out. And I tried most recently with Natural Doctrine, and I was like, man, I just can't. I hate this game. I don't like it. So when you don't like a game, you don't like a game, and that's it. I'm surprised you're asking that question, Kiss. I mean, yeah, I've covered Nier Replicant several times in my videos, several times. So yeah, I've played it before. And I remember recommending the game in one of my cheap JRPGs I strongly recommend. Because back then, and it still is, I think it's still going for like $20, $25, even new, brand new. Yeah, I mean, weird question, man, coming from you. In terms of RPGs, I'm playing Queen's Blade. Is it fan translated? That's a hentai game, isn't it? Or a kinky game. Do you enjoy shmups like Ikaruga or any of the cave shooters? Ikaruga, not really. I'm not a big fan, but Cave, I'm a big fan. Especially Dead Smiles and Akai Katana. Dead Smiles is one of my favorite shoot 'em ups of all time. Shmups are not, let's say, my top 5 favorite video game genres. Shmups are it's not there, but I do love me some shoot 'em ups, man. Just trying to make you listen to Skygate, the wonderful masterpiece of a world map theme from Valkyrie Profile. I love it. It's my favorite track in the game. There's something about it. Something mystical, nostalgic, inspiring. I just listen to it, man. Damn. Yes, this is the same composer as Golden Sun. This is Motoi Sakuraba. He composed the Star Ocean series, the Tales series, Valkyrie Profile, and the Golden Sun games. Same composer, that's right. Genius. I played and beat Final Fantasy 16, and in my opinion, it would have been better with a party, and if it was turn-based. You don't have party members in that game? It's one guy the entire game? Wow, the first mainline Final Fantasy game with no party members? That's bad news for me. I was kind of like considering, the game. I was like, man, maybe one of these days I'll get a PS5 if it goes down in price a little bit, and maybe I'll get Final Fantasy 16 because people won't shut up about it. But now I find out that you don't have party members. What the fuck is going on with Final Fantasy, man? I mean, what's gonna be next? I mean, because this is like Devil May Cry. Just one guy, no party members, you're the only guy and that's it. So what's gonna be next? I don't know, a rhythm game? Oh, there's only been a few rhythm games. How do you think Final Fantasy 17 is going to be like? A virtual first-person shooter? Probably. Mark my words, everybody. Final Fantasy 17 is going to be a first-person shooter. There are party members, but you don't control them. Oh well, at least I don't mind that. As long as you have someone fighting by your side, you do have party members. Even if you can't control them. Nier was the same. Have you played Nier Automata? You have party members and you can't control them, customize them, equip them with anything. That's it. You only have one character and one companion character. Code Vein was similar. Okay, that's great. I take all that I said back, except the first-person shooter part. PS5 got down to $50. No, man. You mean like $500. It even has a devil trigger. It's closer to Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. Well, that's a disappointment. Okay, so I've been adding to my PS4 collection, just picked up Code Vein and Scarlet Nexus. Hope you enjoy them, those are fantastic games with great stories and some dark themes in them. Code Vein is a gothic game, through and through. Just beware, Code Vein is inspired by Bloodborne, and it's fucking hard. Scarlet Nexus is pretty damn hard too, but not as hard as Code Vein. But yeah, they're worth playing. What dog? There's a dog? You have a party member and needs a dog? Final Fantasy 16 party members just sort of exist and do very little. Kind of like the ones in Drakengard 3 or Nier Gestalt and Nier Replicant and Automata. Well, in Automata, your party member 9S is very useful. But then you get the idea, right? I mean, they're just kind of there. Oh, Square Enix is interested in turn-based, just not for Final Fantasy. They lost all interest a long time ago. Can anybody guess this song? I'm pretty sure none of you will. None. Come on guys, what song is this? From what game it is? No? You won't be able to guess it. It's from an obscure game. Phantasy Star? No. Sounds like Phantasy Star. Sounds like Star Ocean. No. Come on, this doesn't sound like Ys or Shin Megami Tensei. Playboy Mansion? How's your mom doing? She's doing fine, thanks. She's still recovering. It's gonna take months for her to recover, but she's doing fine, thanks. An indie game? No. So this song is from one of the last dungeons in Exist Archive, The Other Side of the Sky, on PS4 and PS Vita. Motoi Sakuraba, man! That's right, Exist Archive. Turn-based RPG, kind of inspired by Valkyrie Profile, only in terms of combat because it's a science fiction game. And with an existential crisis. That's why it's called Exist Archive. Very good game, grindfest. What about gacha games? Atelier going gacha? Every franchise is already, if it doesn't have already a gacha game, it's probably going to in the near future. I just did a hidden gem or hidden trash video where I covered 4 indie RPGs. You might want to check it out, to the person asking about indie RPGs. Any idea why Summon Night 6 is not available on PSN? Oh wow, what a coincidence. Or why is it so expensive on eBay, on Amazon? I was just looking up, I'm making a video for next Tuesday, and I'm not gonna spoil the video, but Summon Night 6 was gonna be there, but because of its price it can't be there. Oh man, I already spoiled the video. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what happened. For a long time it used to be a $20 to $30 game everywhere on Amazon. I got my copy on... No, it wasn't on Amazon. It was on eBay, well, the Mexican eBay. And I paid exactly $30 2 years ago. I don't know why it's so expensive. And I don't even know why it disappeared from the PlayStation Store. That sucks. They announced a new gacha Atelier a day or two ago. Whatever. Didn't Atelier Marie came out last month, about a month ago? I didn't play it, didn't get a code. And it looks like, I don't know, like it looks kind of generic. It looks like a gacha game. The remake, Atelier Marie. It's a remake of the first Atelier game ever made. Just because of that, I want to play it. But I think I'm gonna wait if it comes out physical. Well, it's a Koei Tecmo game. Those very rarely go down in price. I mean, Atelier Ryza 2 and 3 are still expensive as fuck. Atelier Ryza 2 is... Fuck, man, what the hell? It's like I'll never complete the trilogy, man. 126 votes. The question is, do you even care about other video game genres? The answer is yes. 87%. Thanks for caring for other video game genres, but there's still a no in 13%. They only play RPGs. Do you buy any games or do you always wait for a code? What the hell, man? Are you blind? Are you blind? Do you want me to move the camera closer? You think I don't buy video games? How do you feel about this change, Eric? What change were you talking about? What's your opinion about Square Enix's current financial situation? Final Fantasy XVI didn't sell well enough, and Square Enix's stock price has been down since they shared their Q2 financial results. Oh wow, I didn't know any of that. First and foremost, because I don't really care about Square Enix. And second, because I don't care about Final Fantasy XVI because I don't have a PS5. I need to clear that out because, out there in the internet, in a place called the internet, they call me a Final Fantasy hater. Even though I'm a massive fan of the old school Final Fantasy. But if you're not a fan of modern Final Fantasy, you fucking hate Final Fantasy. People, the internet. I didn't know Final Fantasy XVI sold poorly. I don't know why. Do you know why? Well, I may have a theory. I think it may be because a lot of people don't have a PlayStation 5 yet. Most people are stuck with a PlayStation 4 or other systems. Or they just want every single video game to come out to PC, on Steam. And Final Fantasy XVI is an exclusive to a console that's freaking expensive and that most gamers just don't have it. So, I mean, Square Enix? Are they seriously disappointed, or were they expecting this? Maybe Square Enix was expecting this. Maybe they said, okay, so we're gonna make Final Fantasy XVI exclusive to the PlayStation 5. But they aren't fucking stupid, right? Square Enix isn't that stupid. They knew this was coming. They knew the game wouldn't sell as well as others because it's an exclusive to a system that's expensive and most gamers don't have. So maybe that's why. Another reason might be because what you guys have been saying that the game is a hack and slash action game, more of a Devil May Cry clone than a Final Fantasy game. I don't have an opinion on that because I haven't played the game. I've seen gameplay footage, and based on what I've seen, it does seem like a game that's just, again, not Final Fantasy related. Like it's its own thing, like it's a reboot of the series maybe. But take my opinion with a grain of salt. I haven't played the game, but another reason why it didn't sell very well, it might be because of that. And then a third reason is probably because this very same year people are expecting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is Chapter 2 in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I don't know how much, I don't think that's a big reason, but it could be a reason that people would rather buy that game than buy Final Fantasy XVI. I don't know. It's an interesting topic, man. Square Enix having financial issues, that's crazy. That's the richest company, RPG company, JRPG company in the world, right? I know others like Bethesda have way more money probably, but Square Enix is, come on. They're billionaires, and they're having financial issues just because Final Fantasy XVI didn't sell well. So like I said, I don't think the company's stupid, and I'm pretty sure they saw this coming. I'm pretty sure they knew the game wouldn't sell very well for the reasons that I mentioned. But that's my opinion. I don't know what else to say because I haven't played the game and I'm not really the biggest Square Enix fan, especially not when it comes to Final Fantasy. Yes, I'm a purist. I like Final Fantasy from 12 and before that. Except 11 and X2. I don't like those. 11 I never played it because it's an MMORPG. And X2, you already know how I feel about it. Can you guess this song? This is from a much more popular game. You have to. I know someone will. Come on, people. There you go. That's right. The first Persona. The police station theme. Yep. Why do you know that? That game, you shouldn't play that game. You shouldn't know that. Fuck that game, don't play it. Why do you know that? Just kidding. Final Fantasy is heading in the wrong direction. It has been for more than 10 years. All purists agree with your opinion, with that statement, including me. I think people may have a misconception of me, and not just me, a lot of you too, that we think Final Fantasy games are bad after 12 or after 10. No, it's just we don't like them, and we don't want to support them. That's it. I mean, Final Fantasy 13 can be a masterpiece to a lot of people, and I respect that. The first Persona, though... This song, it's impossible. You won't be able to recognize it. So I'm just giving it away right now. It's from a game that I covered recently in the video from 2 days ago. Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash. Well, I'm gonna answer this question and then I'm gonna do my short review of a game that I fucking loved recently and I beat 2 days ago. But this guy is asking, with how popular Xenoblade is now, what do you think are the odds of getting Xenosaga getting an HD port now? I doubt it. Namco, what? Man, in every Q&A, there's gotta be a question about the Xenosaga remaster. That's probably never gonna happen. I think the chances are low. You wanna know what chances are high? Getting a Xenoblade Chronicles X port on the Switch. I would like to see that happen, man. Okay, I'm a big Xenoblade Chronicles fan. I played all of them except that one. Well, I played it for like 15 minutes in Oscar's house, and that's it. I don't know much about that game. So, I mean, the same with Dot Hack. Dot Hack won't happen. You know, let me tell you this. I think the Dot Hack tetralogy, the first 4 games, I mean, there are more probabilities of seeing that happen, a remaster of those, than the Xenosaga trilogy. It's just Bandai Namco allegedly made a poll in Japan asking players if they wanted a Xenosaga remaster, and the results weren't satisfactory, and they said they were gonna lose money, and that a remaster of Xenosaga isn't affordable, which is fucking stupid, and we all know that's bullshit because they have been remastering other obscure games. The Baten Kaitos remasters are coming out this month, and Baten Kaitos, you mean to tell me Baten Kaitos is more profitable than Xenosaga? Bandai Namco, why don't you just go out and tell the truth that you maybe you lost the source code for the games, or maybe you have no idea how to remaster them. I mean, don't give the players that bullshit. I made a poll and people weren't interested. Fuck you, man. That's not the truth and the world knows it. Goddamn, Bandai Namco can be just as horrendous as Square Enix sometimes. Does anyone here like Dusk Diver? His last Hidden Gem or Trash made me interested. Oh, somebody watched that video. Thanks. Well, that's a question for you guys. Me, I'm obviously into the first one, not the second one. Hoping, I mean, I'm gonna make my review now. So, I wanna make a review of a game that's not an RPG. And this is a beautiful game released by Sony, exclusive to the PlayStation 4, and developed by Team Ico. Well, they have a different name when they did this, called Gen whatever, I don't even remember. It's Fumito Ueda, okay, the creator of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. This is The Last Guardian, and this is dirt cheap. So, right off the bat, I don't even need to start my review to tell you guys that this is a strongly recommended game. Buy it. It's a beautiful game, but it does have its gameplay issues. And I want to address them in today's review. It's a short review, don't worry. I know most of you don't care about anything except RPGs, despite the poll saying otherwise. Anyway, so The Last Guardian is a game where you control this kid from a mysterious village. That one day, you know, he wakes up randomly, mysteriously wakes up in the middle of a ginormous ruin, a big place that's everything is ruined, like really ancient, like nobody knows what happened in there. He doesn't know what happened in there. And as the previous games from this company, they have their own language. So even though there are English subtitles, the language is pretty much made up. So he wakes up next to this giant beast, which is the one in the cover right now, called as Trico. He starts calling the beast Trico. And it's this kind of like chimera looking kind of creature, which is huge. And basically the goal of the game is to try to figure out what's going on and try to escape from the ruins. Little by little, if you played Eco or Shadow of the Colossus, you gotta play it. I mean, the story is told through an old man's point of view, which we assume is the kid, a grown-up version of the kid telling the story. But these games are known for having a story progression told mostly through the gameplay. The more you advance, the more you start realizing when you reach a certain area or when you watch a certain silent cutscene or something happens and you're like, oh, they're trying to get out. Oh, he's trying to fly. The beast is trying to recover from his broken wings and trying to fly. And then eventually you realize the whole goal of the game is to escape from there. But the only way to escape is to have the beast fly, to have the ability to fly again into the sky and get out of the ruins. But there's these mysterious things going on, these mysterious beings attacking you. There aren't many enemies around like in Eco. Like in Eco, for example, you have these shadows going after the girl Yorda over and over constantly. Here, the action is less on that and is more focused on its puzzle solving. These games are environmental puzzles, and this is the more puzzle-like of all three games from this company. And it's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game because the bond you have with the creature and the bond the kid and the creature develop slowly throughout the game, it's just fucking beautiful and it gets you, man. It hits you right here, especially if you have a dog or any pet, or if you've had a dog in the past or a pet in the past and you were fond of it. Most people will be easily related to this game, how the relationship works, how the kid's trying to understand the beast and putting words into his mouth and making up what he's trying to say, I mean, we all do that with pets, right? And it's a beautiful game. I love it, man. But the game has some gameplay issues, and it was heavily criticized because of these very same gameplay issues, and that's the camera angles. The camera, it might ruin the experience a lot of times, and it might make a lot of puzzles really frustrating. The camera angles and the point of view, it's like often struggling between the beast and the kid, or between what you're supposed to be looking, or to make an area wider or smaller. And because a lot of the puzzles take place in such small places, and the beast is in there, you get this huge claustrophobia feel. Like you feel claustrophobic in there, like you feel like, oh my god, get the fuck out of my way, man! The beast is just in the way, it's getting in the way. Eventually you start controlling, not directly controlling the beast, more like giving it commands. You unlock a feature where if you click one button, the beast will try to jump or just sit still or to attack an enemy. So that helps a lot, but it doesn't solve the problem. This camera problem is there, overly present until the very end of the game. Even with the final battle, the final boss, it can make you lose. I lost at the final boss one time because of the stupid camera, and I know it wasn't my fault. So yeah, it has a frustrating camera, very frustrating. Puts Xenogears to shame, the Xenogears camera to shame. This is far worse, but apart from that, it can be cryptic as fuck, but that's an environmental puzzle for you. And you gotta figure it out for yourself. And I figured out every single puzzle here by myself, except one near the end that I just had no clue what to do. I had a theory. I was like, this is what you need to do, but I can't pull it off, so maybe not. So I looked online and it was that. I needed to find a way how to pull it off. But apart from that, this is a game that it's more satisfying if you do not look up a walkthrough. Because I know it's tempting, and I know it's gonna be tempting for some of you. Like, most of the time you won't know what the hell you're supposed to do or where to go, and you're gonna be tempted to look up a guide. I don't want to encourage you to do that. I want to do the opposite, like to ask you to try to figure out the puzzles by yourself, because when you do, it's so satisfactory. This is a beautiful game, guys. Strongly recommend it. I really liked it despite its horrendous camera issues. It's really worth playing. I mean, in the end, the ending might not be the best ending, the most emotional ending, or maybe it will. I was expecting to cry. I was like, man, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fucking cry at the end, and I didn't, because the ending was something that I wasn't expecting. But it isn't a bad ending, so don't worry. Yeah, amazing game. And that is my review. And this song is from Neo, The World Ends With You. It's a new metal song. With rap music, with hip hop music. Yo! Hey, yo! Oh, and one last thing I forgot to say, just real quick. When it's like JRPGs. You watch the ending, and then you get the credits, and then after the credits, you watch the true ending. Okay, that last scene. It's usually like the same way in JRPGs, right? You watch the credits, and then the rest of the ending is there saying. That's all. Wasn't that game a game you could not get into? Exactly. That's right. I first played this game, I don't know, like 5 years ago, I think, and I couldn't get into it. But I got it for dirt cheap, for a laughable price. I think I paid like $5 for it. And look at me now, I loved it. I'm a big fan now. I'm a big fan of Eco too. I don't like Shadow of Colossus. That's a game that I've never been able to get into. Maybe one day. But Shadow of the Colossus, I can't get into it. I've tried that game a couple of times, and I couldn't get into it. I don't know. It's just different. It's an environmental puzzle too, but it's more of an action game where you gotta climb these giants and kill them, and I mean, it's more oriented to that. And what I like about Eco and The Last Guardian is that the environmental puzzle part. Oh, I actually meant Neo, The World Ends With You. Sorry, man. No, I got into the game, but it was like not my type of game. Yeah, nah. Neo, The World Ends With You, and I don't think I'm a fan of the series. It's the new Kingdom Hearts for me. I have a question. Where are you from? I'm from Mexico. I tried the original Shadow of the Colossus, not the remake. I already tried it. Are you guys paying attention to what I've been saying? I already played Shadow of the Colossus twice, and I couldn't get into it. Sorry, not gonna happen. Maybe one day. Shadow of the Colossus was Attack on Titan before Attack on Titan. That's interesting. Have you played games like Journey and Apsu? I think some of the same developers worked on Apsu, right? Yes, I have. Apsu is the one underwater. It's a very relaxing game, but it gets bored and all after a while. Same with Journey. I mean, those games are like, you start playing them and they're beautiful and you're like immersed into them and you go on and on and on. You're like, man, this is very unique. I'm loving it. But about an hour or two later, you're like, I mean, I lost interest, man. I mean, Journey is great, but I never finished it. And something made me stop caring for it. I don't know what it is. How far did you get in Shadow of the Colossus? Or Neo, The World Ends With You? Not too far on either. Journey is so boring. I don't understand how it is one of the best games. Well, I don't know either, but I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's a really good game. It's just, I find it kind of boring like you. I need something else. I beat the first giant in Shadow of the Colossus, I think, and that's it. What do you think of the Telltale games? Telltale? You mean like Telltale? No, I don't know, man. I don't think I've played... I played the... You mean games like The Wolf Among Us? Well, the Batman games, I played The Wolf Among Us and it was fine. Those are story-driven games. They're like visual novels too. If you don't have anything to kill, it sounds boring to me. Oh, come on, man. There's a lot of games there's no killing in them and they're fantastic. Did you play The Lost Child? Yes, I did. I never beat it because I'm not really a fan of dungeon crawlers in first person. I didn't even get far into it. I think I played it for like 4 hours, maybe 5. I still have my PlayStation Vita file. It originally came out on the PS Vita, then on PS4 and Switch. I think it's a very unique game, but I'm just very specific about dungeon crawlers in first person. Right now I'm playing Zanki Zero, and I'm really enjoying it. But I'm hoping the first person dungeon crawling doesn't get too old or too annoying for me personally. Child of Light, I never finished it. I have it on the Vita. That's on the backlog. That's a game that I really want to go back to one of these days. And I fucking definitely will. Lost Sphere is a pretty good game. It's no masterpiece, but it's a pretty good game. It's gonna grow on you. It's charming, the music is great, the battle system is fantastic. Anyway, do you also play horror games? If yes, then what's your recommendations? I don't play horror games anymore as much as I did 15 years ago. I was a huge survival horror fan. It was my favorite video game genre next to RPGs. So besides recommending the obvious ones like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and whatnot, I would recommend a lot a game called Haunting Ground. Just try to emulate the game because the physical version is expensive as hell. I recommend emulation for that game. That's a really solid game developed by the same team who did the Clock Tower series. And despite the fact that I'm a huge fan of that game, I am not really a fan of Clock Tower. The first two were kind of boring and very slow and extremely outdated. The third one on the PS2 though, that was great, but I don't know, something made me lose interest in it. Probably because I played when I wasn't that interested in survival horror games anymore. But you know what? I'm gonna recommend to you 2 games. There are environmental puzzles, but they're survival horror games too, and they're fucking phenomenal. And they're called Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Both games are on Xbox, PS4, Switch. Dirt cheap, you can find them for like $20 nowadays. Man, you have to play those games, man. Little Nightmares 1 and 2, fucking fantastic games. They're played in 2D. And I want to get into a game called Tormented Souls, but I haven't played it. Nothing to do with Dark Souls, don't worry. And yeah, those are my recommendations. Yum Razon, you collect mostly physical games. What else is there to collect? Do you feel like digital games are something you collect? Because I do have a bunch. I just don't consider them part of my collection, but I have a lot of digital games. Anyway, do you have any plans to replay those games, or you consider them as an investment? What game do you plan to get next? To answer your first question, I don't consider them as an investment, even though I do have a few games in my collection that are pretty much an investment. I have doubles. I have Labyrinth of Refrain on both the PS4 and Switch, and I'm not interested in keeping both. I'm only interested in keeping one version for it. That's just an example. But 95 out of my 100% collection, it's not really an investment. I collect them because I want them, because I'm a collector, because I love collecting. I love video games, and I want to own them physically. And any plans to replay those games? I've replayed a lot of them in my life, but most of them I will have to dust out some of my older systems, like the PlayStation 2, for example. And I'm just too lazy to do that. I wish every single one of these games was on my PlayStation 4 or my PlayStation TV, which is the PS Vita. But yeah, I do have plans to replay, not all of them maybe, but most of those games one day. And some I've already replayed them a few times. And what game you plan to get next? I still have my eyes on my most wanted list, but I haven't gotten a single one of them because remember, my mom was in the hospital and we went through some financial issues, and I live in Mexico and I depend on how the dollar is going. because I get paid in dollars for this YouTube channel, and the dollar went down. So yeah, my financial situation isn't that great, so I'm not buying anything right now. But regularly I check up on some of my most wanted list every week to see if something went down in price. And I'm still looking for the same games. I'm still looking for Dead End Request 2 on the PlayStation 4. Man, I really want to own that game. But it's like non-existent here in Mexico. Oh well, there's a few copies being sold on the Mexican eBay, but they're like $50, and I'm like, man, you got fuck yours. I'm not gonna pay that. And yeah, there's a lot of games that I'm looking for, but I haven't bought anything. Would you like to see a direct sequel to Shadow Hearts Covenant? Yes, absolutely. Did you play Guild? Never heard of it. Have you played Digimon World on the PS1? Yeah, I did. And it's not bad, but it's very, very outdated. And I didn't like it. I'm not really a fan of Digimon or Pokemon. I only like one game called Digimon Survive. I loved it, but I played several other Digimon games and Pokemon games, and I just can't get into them. I don't really like them. I consider my 1,000 plus game Steam library a collection. I do have a lot of digital games. Would you ever do spoiler videos discussing a game's story? Yes, I would love to do that, that's a great idea. But I think this channel is known for being kinda... I very rarely spoil video game stories in my channel, and people are already used to that. So if I start doing that, I don't know what will happen. I don't know if there will be interest. I don't know if people will watch it. So that's why I've never done that. So of course I'm very interested, but that's my problem. It's a double-edged sword. What do you think of Etrian Odyssey? Not a fan of dungeon crawlers in first person, especially not the ones with generic customizable characters, where your entire party is just generic dudes with no personality. Not really a fan. Is Labyrinth of Refrain as tedious as Strange Journey? I don't know, I never finished Labyrinth of Refrain. Hell, I never finished Strange Journey either. I got far into it but never beat it. But I don't think so. I think I played Labyrinth of Refrain for like 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours. And it was nowhere near as annoying as Strange Journey. Can you still play Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails if you never played a game in the series? Yes, because Nayuta is kind of a spin-off, and it's not that connected to the Trails main series. I don't know, I never beat Nayuta. I played it on the PSP, fan translated a long time ago. I never beat it, like I said, and I don't know if there are spoilers. I have no idea, but what little I played back then, it just didn't seem related at all to the Trail series, but I'm pretty sure that one guy is here in the chat and will let you know about it. Did you play Trinity Trigger? I wanted to, but no, I didn't, but I want to play it. Cyber Sleuth is straight up turn-based. I played Cyber Sleuth on the PlayStation 4 and I was like, man, no, I'm just no. I think I like Digimon Survive because there was a lot of darkness into it and the soundtrack was amazing. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like the game, and it's also a grid-based strategy RPG. I'm a fan of those. So. Have you ever played Phoenix Wright? No, I haven't. I keep forgetting over and over again. I want to play that series one day. Now Nayuta is Towa's grandfather? I don't think so. Will you play the new Armored Core game? No, not a fan of that game. Or any SRW games? You mean Super Robot Wars games? I'm a fan. I like the ones on the Game Boy Advance. I like Endless Frontier on the Nintendo DS. And I like Relayer. Relayer on the PS4 is pretty much a love letter to those games. I'm not the biggest fan of Super Robot Tyson, you know, but I like them. I'm a fan nonetheless. Ace Attorney is a banger. Okay, I'll play it. So what's up with Trinity Trigger? Is it kind of like boring, like repetitive? Review the game for me, guys. Convince me to play it. Any news on the Fate Extra remaster? It's not a remaster, it's a remake. They are doing the game from scratch, from zero. And no, we have received no news whatsoever. Sadly. That sucks, doesn't it? I'm a big fan. Have you heard about the Red Dead Redemption Switch port? No, I'm not interested in those games, so I haven't. The poll says 87%. Yeah, it's safe to assume most of you do care about other video game genres. Let's just wait a bit more. Let's get it up to 200 votes and see what the final verdict is like. I'm pretty sure it's going to remain that way. 80 something percent yes, 10 something percent no. Yeah, the next Fate game is coming out next month. That crossover with Samurai something, right? Fate whatever Samurai. I heard about that one. I'm interested. Let's see what happens. Do you like any mecha games? Yes, apart from Super Robot Tyson and Relayer. Well, I like Vanguard Bandits. I'm a big fan of it. They aren't exactly mechs, but they're like giant knights. The Trails series is another one. The Trails of Cold Steel series. You do play as the robots, well as the giant things. A lot of times, on several occasions. I'm not the biggest mech fan, you know, but I'm a fan of some. Vanguard Bandits, man, that's a fantastic game, man. Will you be playing the new Silent Hill games when you get a PS5? Sure. Probably. Xenoblade Chronicles, that's another one that has mechs. Xenogears, Xenosaga, all the Xeno games, you know. I'm a big fan, big fan. What about Suikoden? What about it? Are you new to this channel? You probably are. Suikoden is my favorite video game series of all time, man. I've done a lot of Suikoden videos, but I stopped doing them because I noticed there was a lot of disinterest. I mean, people lost interest, I guess. I don't know why. I mean, the last Suikoden related videos that I did kind of failed in views, so I stopped doing them, but I love Suikoden. And I haven't stopped talking about them in my top 10s, for example, or my rankings or tier lists. I'm not gonna do tier lists anymore, you know. I think the last one that I did about the developers, before doing that tier list, I told myself that that will be probably the last tier list ever. But I think I have a couple of consoles left, the Game Boy Advance, maybe the Nintendo DS. I'm still missing those. Maybe one day you won't be seeing any more tier list videos for a while. Did you play Future Redeemed from Xenoblade? No, I didn't. I hate paying for DLC, man. That's bullshit. I fucking hate when developers do that. They don't sell you the complete game. They add a new story and they want to sell it to you. I hate that. I think that's unethical, man. Did you play Chained Echoes? Not yet. I haven't played Chained Echoes. Indie RPG tier list? No, I would rather make a top 10. What do you think of Western indie JRPGs like Chained Echoes, but new classic style JRPGs? I don't know, because I don't think of those games as JRPGs. More like they're influenced by a lot of JRPGs. I haven't played Chained Echoes, but I've played a lot of indie RPGs inspired by classic JRPGs. And I'm a big fan of some of them. I'm a big fan of Zeboyd games. All of their games are pretty much inspired by classic JRPGs. And I loved Cosmic Star Heroine, Cthulhu Saves Christmas. I like This Way Madness Lies. I played Rise Eterna. which is a love letter to Fire Emblem, and I fucking loved it. You know, I told you last year that I will slowly get more and more into indie RPGs, and I fulfilled my promise. I covered a lot of indie RPGs this year in several videos, haven't I? And more to come. Are you gonna play Sea of Stars? Depending if I get a review code, yes I will. If I don't, I'll probably wait for a sale, for the game to go on sale. I don't even know if it's gonna get a physical release. What's your opinion on the last 4 Super Robot War games? 5, 10, T, and 30. I haven't played a single one of those. Top 10 games that you want developers to turn that specific series. That's a long ass title, man, no. How about history of developer video games? I know you've done some of them. Yeah, but I stopped doing them because I don't think most people want to watch me. They don't come to my channel for that type of content, unfortunately. But yeah, I used to do a lot. 10 things you didn't know about, or the What the Hell Happened To series. Well, the What the Hell Happened To series ended. There were no more series to talk about. It just ended. Maybe I missed a couple, but I don't know. The series ended. There's no more series that are dead to cover. I mean, what am I gonna do? What the hell happened to the Trails series? Makes no sense. The Trails series is still alive, right? So that series ended. But the 10 things you didn't know about, which were specifically about that game's history and development and learning more about the background and the whys and the hows, well, I don't think most people want to watch that type of content from me. I don't know why. I wish I could do more. What do you think about The Legend of Zelda? I've never been a fan. The Legend of Zelda is one of the first video games I ever played in my life, but I never got into it. I played the second one a lot more than the first one on the NES, but it was so hard that me and my brother and my sister, you know, we never got past the freaking tower with the elevators, you know. I don't know the name. And eventually I played A Link to the Past, and I loved it, but never finished it. And that's the game that made me realize that I wasn't a Zelda fan. So I played Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and you know, I was like, man, I'm not a Zelda fan. I'm just not, but I respect the series. I think it's a great series. And no, I haven't played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Have you played the Corpse Party series? I played the first one on the Vita, and I haven't gone back to it. I should go back to it. Did you play the South Park RPGs? I played the first one, The Stick of Truth. Nah, I love South Park, but the game was kind of like, I don't know, no. For some reason I didn't like it. Yeah, it's an old series. What the hell happened to? Oh, really old. The last one was in 2019, I think, about Chrono Trigger. The Chrono series. And it didn't do very well. Yeah, This Way Madness Lies by The Void Games. I don't like the magical girls stuff, but gameplay-wise, it's fantastic, man. These guys just never disappoint. Is there a game you have that you know you will never finish? Yeah, I have a lot of them. You mean like in my collection, right? Because, well, even if it's digital or physical, I do have a lot of games. Especially digital. Physical, I'm pretty sure 20 or 30% of my collection are games like that I'll just never finish. So Crosscode, for example. I bought it, and I don't think I'll ever finish it. 198 votes. Come on, people. 2 more votes and I'll end the poll. The answer is crystal clear. Most of you right now in the chat, or the people who have joined this live stream during the past 1 hour and 14 minutes, most of you do care about other video game genres. 199 votes, 200 votes, there you go. End poll. Oh, 201, someone slipped in. Someone managed to slip in. Final vote. There you go. So 86% agree. They do play other video game genres. That's great. Hope you enjoyed my Last Guardian review then. There was no hidden agenda for this, no double meaning. I just wanted to make a random poll. Have you played Fairy Tail? No, and I really want to, because despite that I'm not a fan of the series. I don't really care for it, but the game looks really good, and I really want to play it. What do you think of the Art on Helico games? Would you like to see a remaster of port to modern systems? Yes, I would, because the games are freaking expensive, all of them. I only own the last two, which are Art on Helico 3 and Arno Surge on the PlayStation 3. And I used to have the first two on the PlayStation 2 special editions, and I sold them like a fucking idiot, but I needed the money. That was like 67 years ago. And I regret that, because I sold each for like $40. Man, and I know they go for over 100 nowadays. Those are my biggest regrets. But yeah, I'm a fan of the series, and yes, definitely I would love to see them remastered. How about for next video, what the hell happened to Atelier? They went gacha. Oh, they'll come back, don't worry. Ryza is over. Atelier Ryza 3 was released this year, and it's over. So I don't know what's gonna be next for these guys. They're gonna have to start a brand new trilogy. It's been like 6 trilogies already. First, there's the Atelier Marie. Though I don't know if that's a trilogy or not. I think there were 4 games or 2, I don't remember. And then there's the Iris trilogy on the PlayStation 2, which I'm a big fan of, especially the first 2 games. The third one, not so much. And then the Arland trilogy, which ended up getting a 4th game called Lulua. And then the Dusk trilogy. And then the Mysterious trilogy with Sophie and Firis. And then the 6th trilogy is Ryza. So yeah, Ryza is over. So we'll probably get another trilogy soon, maybe next year. The RPGs are my favorite genre too. You'd send me a Japanese copy of Art on Helico 2, but I'm in Mexico, man. Sending that copy to me is gonna be very expensive. You sure about that? I have no problem. If you want to send it to me, be my guest, sure. The new one is Atelier Resliara or something. Well, it's a mobile gacha game. No, that's probably a spin-off. Crosscode is impressive but exhausting. It just is, man. I mean, there's way too many puzzles. That's what kills it for me. Way too many puzzles, and some of the puzzles aren't exactly annoying. Some are annoying, some are fun, some are easy to solve, some are hard to solve, but that's normal. But there's just way too many of them. It's also super grindy. Oh man. It's an action RPG, right? I have it on the PlayStation 4 physical. I paid $26 for it. And I think the game is fantastic, and it is worth owning, but I kind of regret paying that much for it. Have you played Gravity Rush? I did so on the PlayStation Vita, and then I played the sequel on the PlayStation 4 years later. I couldn't get into either. I didn't like the camera or how you move in the air, and I couldn't get into the controls. Not a fan. I'm not interested in Armored Core. I played one on the PS2 a long time ago, and not my type of game. The new Atelier game is a mainline entry. These guys, okay, but whatever the case, mainline or not, they're gonna have to go back to consoles. I mean, it's not like Ghost has abandoned the console market. I don't think so. How about your top 5 favorite musical albums of all time? I already did that. It's in my second channel. Link to my second channel is in the description of this live stream. Click on it and you can look it up. It wasn't a top 5, it was a top 10 favorite music albums of all time. How do you think that this guy is here? What do you think? Are you trying to ask about my opinion on the Disgaea series? Well, I'm not a big fan of the series, and so my opinion doesn't have a lot of weight. I like some of them. 2 and 4 are my favorites, but 1, 3, and 5, I never finished them. And the first one was just too fucking hard for me. 3, I never went back to it for some reason. And 5, I went back to it, but that's the game that made me realize that I wasn't a big fan of this Gaia. And I played 6, and I never went back to it either. Not a this Gaia fan here. What's your favorite console of all time? The PlayStation 2. Hands down, forever. I don't think I'll ever change that. You can play the PS2 port of Atelier Marie and LE with an English patch. You do? Okay. I'd rather just play the Atelier Marie remake. On the poll where you asked which mana game we think is best, I picked Secret of Mana. Funny how a lot of people voted on that poll, but they didn't watch the video. Come on, guys, the whole point was to make you watch the video. I think I didn't pick a winner in the video, but I think Trials of Mana is my favorite. It's the best. There you go. That's a solid theory. Elliot says Ghost, they didn't abandon console. Apparently they are making the mobile game to take a break from consoles and to gain more profit for the budget of their next Atelier game on console. It makes sense. A lot of companies have done that in the past. Make a mobile game, get some money, and use that money for the next big game. Do you think we'll ever get another Valkyria Chronicles game? Yes, I do. It's been a while. It's been almost 4 years since the 4th one came out. But I think what Sega wants to do is they don't want to make these games that often, and they take a long time to do. These are strategy RPGs with very careful design. They take a lot of time to do. So I think what Sega wants to do is, yeah, kind of like what Tri-Ace did with Star Ocean, exactly. They want to separate their game, or Persona, or Nier. They want to put a lot of years between each entry, so it doesn't get old, like Final Fantasy. Do you like the Manakimia series? Yes, I do. I'm a big fan of both games, especially the second one. But yeah, we'll definitely get Valkyria Chronicles 5 one day. I'm pretty damn sure. Which developer leading and set the trend JRPG now? I'm not sure I understand your question. You're gonna have to rephrase your question, man. Are you going to turn any of your books into games, JRPGs? I'd love to. I'd love to do that, but I can only write stories, man. Maybe I can join in the music and that's it. Because I was a musician in the past, but I have zero talent or knowledge or patience for programming or designing or 3D modeling or whatever, you know. I tried RPG Maker a couple of times in the past and I just have no patience, man. I'm not a programmer, but I would love to see some of my books being made into RPGs. Oh, who's setting the trends for JRPGs? Yeah, I made a video about that. It's called The New Golden Age of RPGs. And the big ones right now, Atlus, Falcom. Square Enix is still trending JRPGs a lot, too. The big ones, always the big ones. Who else? Nintendo themselves with Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, you know. I'm not a game writer, I am an author, I'm a book writer. Are the Valkyria games past one good? I find the designs look like they just wanted to milk it, maybe I got the wrong impression. Yes, they're very good. The second one, maybe you watched gameplay footage of the second one and it's the worst in the series, but it's still very worth playing. 4, Valkyria Chronicles 3 and 4 are a masterpiece, man. You have to play them. 4 is just as good as the first one. The third one uses the same interface and graphic engine as the second one, but it's a much better game and it's fan translated. And it's a freaking masterpiece, man. All the Valkyria Chronicles games are worth playing. Even Revolution, it's an excellent game. Okay, no, it's not an excellent game. It's not. But it's a great game nonetheless. I love it. We need a new Suikoden game. Yes, we do. It's called a Eiyuden Chronicle coming out next year. And what's up with those Suikoden remasters? What the fuck, Konami? When are we getting a release date for those? A few NIS titles got delisted on eShop and PSN a few months ago. The Lost Child, God Wars, Demon Gaze, Natural Doctrine. Well, The Lost Child, that's too bad because it's kind of expensive and rare. God Wars is cheap as fuck on Vita, Switch, PS4. So no, not a lot of issues there. Demon Gaze, I'm not sure how much it goes for nowadays. Natural Doctrine, thank you for delisting that piece of shit, NIS America. Thank you. It sucks. Nobody should ever play that. I feel like Square is a shadow of their former selves compared to the 90s. I agree. It's a shame Final Fantasy XVI was a letdown for me. I like my turn-based. Well, I can't talk about Final Fantasy XVI since I haven't played it, but I kind of agree. I mean, they are definitely a shadow of their former self. They should have changed their name to something else. The Suikoden remasters isn't out yet. They aren't out yet, no. Did you see the new thing from Square Enix where they say they will only focus on AAA games for now? Oh no. So that means no more Tokyo RPG Factory? That means they won't be supporting third-party companies like Lancarce. I mean, Lancarce developed the Diofield Chronicle. I mean, come on, man. If that's true, then Square Enix has just given me yet another reason to be disappointed and hate them. Why not get Team and Kickstarter? You have a decent sized fan base, you can at least get a visual novel. Well, I could do that, but I'm not really good at working with other people. I'm kind of a control freak when it comes to my own art. If I was working on someone else's story, then maybe. But if I work on my own story, it's like I just don't know. I don't think people like working with me. Well, Octopath Traveler has retro graphics, but I'm kind of sure that's a AAA game, right? Isn't it? I've always thought of Octopath Traveler as AAA games. They just have different graphics, that's it. Or maybe I'm wrong. Truly think Switch has JRPG market cornered. Yeah, I made a video about that on my second channel. I call the Switch the new king of RPGs, at least in terms of number. But we shouldn't judge quantity over quality. I prefer the PS4. I think the PS4 is king on the market, but Switch just has way more RPGs in terms of numbers. I see you're expecting the Nintendo's next console to be called the Switch 2. No, it's not gonna be called that. It's gonna be the Super Switch. Square's A and AA games actually turn a profit. It wouldn't make sense. It won't make sense to stop making them. I kind of agree. New Switch XL. Definitely. New Switch XL. It's like the new 3DS XL. If I'm not wrong, they will focus more on Final Fantasy and less on Octopath. Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Let's just hope Dragon Quest XII isn't a Devil May Cry clone. The Switch U. Wouldn't it be amazing, stupid, but also amazing if the next console will be called the Super Switch? Just like the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. I mean, that would be so fucking stupid, but I don't know, I kind of want that. The Super Switch. In 4K. Okay, enough with the 720p. Nintendo, you have enough to make your console at least 1080p. The Nintendo Switch Advance. As a new entry, what are you hoping Atlus to do to Metaphor ReFantasio to differ from Persona series? Me too, man. All I see is a Persona clone in there. I don't know. I usually don't expect companies to do. I mean, I don't put expectations on companies. I'd rather expect nothing. It's much better. I don't know if you guys watched my video. You probably didn't because it got some shadow banning issues. The last video that I did from last Tuesday, top 10 JRPGs that failed my expectations. And I learned when I did that video, I said that I learned my lesson. You know, you shouldn't expect anything from video games. But the one thing that I am expecting is the game to not be politicized. Anything but politicized bullshit, please, Atlus. Don't politicize your game. Just don't do that. What's up with the PS5 portable? Oh, there were some rumors, right, that Sony was working on another portable system. I haven't heard anything yet. No, man, Dragon Quest is not gonna be an action RPG. Please, no. Radioactive Cosmic Rays, thanks a bunch, man. He asks, what are some Nintendo GameCube Wii era RPGs you want to see remastered on the Switch, like Bats and Kaitos? That's funny because I did a couple of polls about that in my Patreon page. I'd love to see the Fire Emblem games. That's my biggest and toppest priority. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, I mean, they are stupidly expensive, especially Path of Radiance, for no goddamn reason other than being exclusive to those systems. And I think they're masterpieces, both of them, and I think people need to play them. We desperately need those Fire Emblem games on the Switch or anything else. So, right off the bat, those two. I'd love to see Lost Kingdoms, at least the first one, remastered from GameCube. And on the Wii, Arc Rise Fantasia, maybe Pandora's Tower, maybe. Or The Last Story desperately needs a remaster. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles got one, why not The Last Story? Come on, Hironobu Sakaguchi. We need your game on the Switch. The Last Story needs to be played. That's one that those are my picks, man. Well, how about Mega Man X Command Mission? I mean, why the hell not, right? It's on GameCube and PS2. So Pepe Poe, thanks a bunch for the donation, buddy. He says, hello, sir. I'm new to the channel, but have already watched a lot of your videos the last few days. Thank you for that. A pleasant person too, with genuine content. Highly interested in getting your books as well. Keep it up. Thanks a bunch, man. I hope you enjoy the books. None of them are connected, so you can just start with any book you want. They're all standalone stories. And like I said, I hope you enjoy the books, man. And thanks for the donation. You're awesome. What's going on with the new Grandia and Grow Lancer game? That's not gonna happen. Atlus abandoned Grow Lancer a long time ago, and I just don't think it's gonna happen. Maybe a spiritual successor at one point. Grandia is much more profitable, but I think Gung Ho Entertainment has the rights to the first two Grandia games, and Square Enix has the rights to Grandia 3. So there's a bit of a conflict of interests in there. I don't know that much about it, but I just don't see a Grandia 4 happening ever. But if it happens, man, that's gonna be awesome. I'd love to see Grow Lancer coming back. There's a rumor about Fantasian coming to Steam soon. Well, I just did a video on my second channel saying why I don't play on Steam. But that's yet another reason to play on Steam. Fantasian. Why can't it come to consoles? And what's the big problem porting Fantasian to the PlayStation 4 at least? Or the Switch? Radiata Stories Remastered, I wish. Yeah, count me in, man, me too. I love that fucking game. I fucking love that game, man. There's a Sonic RPG, but it's turn-based. Where? There's one on the Nintendo DS, and it's an RPG, and it's bad. It's bad. It's not... It's bad. Skies of Arcadia needs a remake. Yes, I agree. I'd love to see a remake or a remaster at least of that game. How about What the Hell Happened to the Grow Lancer series? That video already exists, I already did that one. Look it up. Like 5 years ago. Lunar Silver Star Story and Lunar Eternal Blue are the ones I want ported. Yeah, me too. Me too, man. Yeah, I hope we get Fantasian on the Wii. I mean, on the Switch. I was still thinking about the Wii. What JRPGs on the Wii I want remastered. How about Shiren the Wanderer? No one cares, I know. How about Tales of Symphonia 2? Oof, I just opened Pandora's box in there. Top 10 licensed game JRPGs? What do you mean, like based on anime series or something? What do you mean licensed games? Tales of the Abyss deserves a remake? Well, it got a remaster. Well, it wasn't a remaster, it was just a port to the 3DS. Weird. I am still astounded at how they managed to port Dragon Quest 7 and 8. What 7 was a remake. 8 and Tales of the Abyss, which were PlayStation 2 games, they were ported to the 3DS. I mean, that was fucking weird. Interesting, but weird. How about Tales of Destiny Director Scott that PS2 remake? Somebody told me it's fan translated already, so I'll probably play at some point. We need that game to get an official English release outside of Japan. And Bandai Namco, come on, those Tales games are only getting dusty, gathering dust. Tales of Destiny 2, the real one, Tales of Eternia 2, the original Tales of Fantasia, Tales of Rebirth. What the hell, Bandai Namco? How dare you leave those games behind and remaster Tales of Symphonia again? Are you gonna play Sea of Stars? I don't know, I hope so. Oh, Metal Gear 3 also got a 3DS port, you're right. Resonance of Fate 2 will be dope. Not to me. Do you think Sakaguchi should return to Square Enix and take control over the Final Fantasy franchise again? No, because Sakaguchi is more interested in making mobile games or free-to-play games nowadays than anything, so he will just make Square Enix even worse. What's that Wii JRPG that's hard as hell? I forgot. You mean Baroque? It's also on PS2. You mean Baroque, right? Roguelike action RPG, stupidly hard. You're probably thinking of that one. Have you played Steins Gate Elite? No, I watched the anime series and I'm a fan of it, I loved it, but I have never played any of the games. It's not Baroque? You got me interested now, man. Well, it's Arc Rise Fantasia, right? That's also stupidly hard. It's gotta be Arc Rise Fantasia. Fantasia. It's that, right? The one you're thinking about? Did you ever play Rogue Galaxy? Yes, I did, and I covered the game a lot in this channel. And there's a video I did a long time ago called 10 Things You Didn't Know About Rogue Galaxy. Check it out if you haven't. Oh, as much as I dislike Resonance of Fate, I gotta admit that, you know, the battle system is very unique. There's no other JRPG like it. Very unique. But didn't it get remastered on PlayStation 4 digitally? I'm pretty sure Resonance of Fate got a remaster on the PlayStation 4. I just don't know how good it looks on the PlayStation 4. I don't really care about that game, so... Will Blazing Souls Axelate ever escape the PSP for a North American release? I would love it on the Switch. Yeah, me too. You know what my problem was with Blazing Souls? There's this part in the game where they tell you to jump, and I couldn't figure out how. I didn't know what I was supposed to do, and I ditched the game. I was loving it though. Do you like any shonen-based RPGs like Full Metal Alchemist or Dragon Ball likes? Yes, I do. I loved Full Metal Alchemist 2, The Curse of the Crimson Elixir on the PlayStation 2. The first one is called The Broken Angel, something of a Broken Angel, and it was kind of mediocre. It had some control issues, some camera issues, but the second one was much better. And I'm always looking for an excuse to cover that game again on my videos, and I've been waiting for years, man. I'm just gonna force it in one of my videos one of these days. I will. Are you interested in Baldur's Gate 3? No, not really. Oh, and about Dragon Ball, there's one on the Nintendo DS, developed by Monolith Soft, the same developers of Xenoblade Chronicles. They made this Dragon Ball Z game on the Nintendo DS, turn-based RPG. It's called Attack of the Science. Generic name, I know, for a Dragon Ball game. It's pretty good. And I haven't tried the last one, which was an RPG apparently. Kakarot, I think that's the name. I haven't played it. Are you coming out with a new book soon? No, this year I'll probably just translate another book, which is probably gonna be Prelude to Oblivion, the very first book I ever wrote, and that's gonna be it for this year. And I'll probably use next year to finally sit down and write a brand new book, or to translate the last book that needs a translation. How is your type? A lot of questions about Sea of Stars. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not sure. I don't think I'll get a review code or anything. So you know me, I'm not gonna buy the game unless it's like $10. I don't like overpaying for digital games. Did you play any One Piece games? Yes, I played Odyssey for a bit, and I talked about it in a video a few weeks ago called 7 turn-based RPGs I want to talk about. It's there. I kind of reviewed the game in there. I liked it. And there's one on the 3DS. One Piece. I forgot the name. One Piece something on the Nintendo 3DS, which is also turn-based. And that one was alright. The turn-based system was cool, but the game itself was kind of boring. Romance Dawn, thanks. Sea of Stars will be free on PS Plus, by the way. So maybe I can pay 1 month of PlayStation Plus and get it. Thanks for the tip. I'll probably do that if I don't get a review code. Yeah, Romance Dawn was also on PSP, but only in Japan. Have you ever received a free game from Nintendo? No, never. I applied a long time ago to get review codes from Nintendo, and I never heard back. I don't know why. I was disappointed by Arcadian Atlas mechanics and battle speed. I have never heard that game, man. Arcadian Atlas? Sounds cool. Arcadian Atlas? Let me look that up. I don't know, I like the name. Let's see. Arcadian Atlas. Hey, it's a grid-based strategy RPG. About the decisions people take for love and power. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Windows, Steam, everything except the Switch apparently. It's everywhere except the Switch. Alright, so I'll look it up, man. That's interesting. It was released last month. It doesn't have the best reviews. Some complaints about it. I don't care, I'm interested in it. It's an indie Final Fantasy Tactics. Nemo propaganda, thanks. How do you feel about Star Ocean The Divine Force now that some time has passed? It's my personal best of 2023. I still feel the same. I still think the game is fantastic, and I still think the game is one of the best Star Ocean games. And it's probably, while not my favorite JRPG of 2022, the game came out last year, man. It's one of the best. But I'm starting to believe that's my favorite Star Ocean game, man. I really like the second one. I really like the fourth one. But the Divine Force, man, I loved it. I think it has fantastic gameplay, character design, controls, battle system. Man, out of nostalgia, I think I'm gonna stick with the second story or The Last Hope, but the Divine Force, it's definitely up there with the best Star Ocean games ever made. I loved it, man. Mad Radio, thanks a bunch, man. He says, thanks for the live stream. I will also be subbing to your podcast on Patreon. Well, that's awesome, man. Hope you enjoy the podcast. They are nothing but politically incorrect rants and a few other topics that I don't discuss about my YouTube career in public. There's a lot of things in that podcast that I don't say in public in these Q&As. You're almost going to reach 100,000 subscribers. Well, with the subscriber purge that's been going on lately, it's gonna take me a while, but yeah. There's also a lot of evil haters trying to ruin my reputation out there on the internet, making me lose subscribers. No, that's not... Well, it's true, but that's not an issue. The issue I think I see is that a lot of people aren't interested in subscribing to YouTube channels anymore. I have a shit ton of viewers, die-hard fans of this channel, and they aren't even subscribed to it. Because I think people have lost interest in subscribing to channels. Because it does nothing for them. I mean, it's just one button. And the notification system from YouTube, it's become so infamous. And people know that. People used to subscribe to channels because YouTube used to send them constantly and regularly updates. And every video, hey, this YouTube channel you're subscribed to released this video. But nowadays, with all the political bullshit and all the shadow banning and all the competition, I mean, there's just like billions of YouTube channels nowadays. It's like YouTube, the notification system doesn't work very well anymore. And a lot of die-hard fans who are subscribed to this channel don't even get the notifications anymore. And nobody knows why. And we've asked YouTube about this, and they're always like, they pretend nothing's wrong and that their system does work. It just fucking doesn't. So I understand why a lot of people don't subscribe to YouTube channels anymore. But can you blame them? But if you aren't subscribed, subscribe right now. Subscribe. Is that the right pronunciation? Is it sub or sub? Subscribe. Fuck it. You're playing the remaster of Star Ocean 2. It's a remake, by the way, not a remaster. Yes, I will, probably, at some point. My Erick Landon RPG stuff is all in one nice little place for me to watch. What? What does that mean? You mean like you download my videos on your Xbox? Haters gonna hate. Keep doing your stuff, dude. Yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, this is Reach Out to the Truth from Persona 4, but this is not the version of the RPG. This is from the fighting game. There we go, Persona 4 Golden, that's right. What about this one? Where is this from? Where the fuck is this from? Oh! This is from the legendary Sultan. He used to make music. I think he quit or something. You know, the guy who composed the music theme intro for a lot of my older videos. A lot of them. Same composer. It's the legendary Sultan, inspired by Valkyrie Profile. Damn. Exactly. That is the truth right there, and YouTube's biggest problem with subscription rates and the notification system. Aurora says you can't even find all the videos when you filter by new on YouTube. They delete results if the video is unpopular. That's the biggest problem of this website in a nutshell. I understand that if one of my videos didn't do well in views, they will delete it. I understand why, but why do you delete that video for my subscribers or my regular viewers? I mean, that's just bullshit, YouTube. That shouldn't happen. If you don't want to make my video popular and you don't want non-subscribers and non-viewers to watch it, fine. But don't take it away from my subscribers and my viewers. That I fucking hate of this website. The old days of YouTube were so much better. Yeah, when they weren't politicized, when freedom of speech was YouTube's logo, YouTube's banner, man. They used to promote freedom of speech a lot, and now it's the biggest website in the world censoring it. Oh fuck, they're listening to me right now. See? I shouldn't talk about these things. This is the type of shit I talk in my podcast. Hit the notification bell, fellas, and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you, NatRec44. No need to search. Exactly, that's what you guys need to do. Search manually for your favorite YouTubers and their videos. Because most of them sometimes won't appear. Have you played the Dio Field Chronicle? Yeah, I did. And I was talking earlier today in this stream about the update it received with the new arc from Walta Queen, which is phenomenal, but it's very, very freaking hard. And yes, I got addicted to the battle system, man. I loved it. It's become one of my favorite battle systems in JRPGs nowadays. The Dio Field Chronicle. I really, really liked it, man. Fellow fan, man. Fellow fan. Have you played Pier Solar and the Great Architects? No, I keep forgetting. I haven't played it, and I want to play it, and I keep forgetting. God damn it. I really want to play that game. You can't even publicly thumbs down videos. Oh, you're right, they removed that feature like 2 years ago, right? Thank you, Bear of the West. There's a lot of fans of Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash videos. Not enough, maybe, but the series shall continue. Yeah, the last one was about indie RPGs. Some really interesting ones in there. Unique games in there, and a big rant on some of them. Yeah. I think the problem with Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash is that my audience is used to seeing me cover 10 games in a 15 to 20 minute long video, not just 4. So maybe that's why it doesn't have yet a lot of fans, but maybe one day it needs more fans. And I'm starting to notice a huge lack of interest in video game criticism, unless it's really popular. But if I go out, I feel like if I go out nowadays, and it's been the same for a lot of my videos from this year, like, I go out and criticize a video game and people don't like that. I don't understand why. I mean, okay, don't you want criticism anymore? All you want is positive? It's like people only care about the good games, and which is understandable. I mean, why will they care about the bad games? But I don't know, watching coverage about bad games or about games that can be good or bad with mixed reviews, that's the type of content I like to watch. I don't really like when everything is positive, when everything is just, when reviewers just talk about positive games or games they liked and don't cover the games they don't like. It feels kind of hollow to me. I like seeing, video game criticism. I like seeing the good and the bad about games. And that's what Hidden Gem and Hidden Trash is about. But then there's a lot of other games, AAA ones, that do get a lot of hate. And they explode, they go viral, like Gollum, for example. Thanks. That's one of the reasons why Gollum got all the front pages and Trails gets none. Exactly. There's a lot of coverage of AAA games. I mean, a heck of a lot. As much as I try to save the obscure ones or the lesser known titles, I feel like people have lost a lot of interest. Exactly. I mean, wow, that's harsh, man. Verbal lashed it. I think Hidden Trash videos aren't useful since people search for good games usually. Yeah, that's right. It's not like before. Well, they were just looking for video game coverage. And then the other people who are asking me to do longer videos, they want Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash to be longer. To cover more games. But it's a dilemma, right? I need to keep things balanced. I can't please either audience, you know. I need to like try to please both in a way. I think 16 to 20 long minute videos for hidden gem or hidden trash and focusing more on 4 games. I mean, would you rather have me focus on 10 games in a smaller way, or to really review as much as I can just 4 games? I think that's better, but that's just how I see it. Please don't go into YouTube Shorts. I've never tried that because I've read that there's barely any money to be done in those, and I just don't see. Even if you could make money, it's not about the money. It's more about feeling satisfied with what I do, and making a 1 minute long video. I just don't see the point, you know. But I will do them if only for the money. But the money you get from shorts is like really bad. I think your short needs to have like a lot of thousands of views to get, I don't know, maybe $10-$20. I don't know, man. I'd rather just stick to regular videos. Yes, this is Super Mario RPG music. If there's no criticism in games, how will devs know if they did a good job? Exactly. They need negative feedback just as much as positive feedback. But sometimes the negative feedback can be biased. I've been biased, you know. I've criticized games like Final Fantasy X too, just because I'm biased. But I don't know, man. It's kind of tricky. I like video game criticism. Video game criticism for videos seems to be you have to despise a game or absolutely love it for people to watch it. Exactly! Kinda sad not to be in between. Exactly. Why can't I just make more popular the concept or of breaking down the good and the bad about something, you know? Yeah, people really want to see someone hating passionately on something or loving passionately. Hey, you know, I've done that too. But I feel like even if I do that, you know, it's not gonna get a lot of coverage. It doesn't matter, you know, I'm alright with the numbers Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash receives. I know it's not for everybody, but the series is doing alright. It's not exactly a success, but it's not a failure either. So it's getting there, and I like doing them, and I know you like watching them, so let's just keep at it, you know. Fuck the algorithm, fuck the views. I'm just gonna keep doing them because I love doing them, and I know the series has its fans, so that's enough for me. What you get from shorts is new audience, since YouTube pushes them a lot, but I hate them. I don't want this to be an Instagram. Yeah, I've never tried any shorts, and I don't have an Instagram account or a TikTok account. And honestly, I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. I don't want to do them, but if I ever end up doing them, it's because there's money to be made. Maybe I'll get some extra cash from doing them. But I just don't see the point, you know. I mean, what am I gonna use 1 minute to say that Chrono Cross is fantastic and you should play it? I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about shorts and TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. I mean, criticism is good for JRPGs to have quality of life features added in future games like auto-sort inventory, auto-equip items, speed of battle options, etc. Well, I actually disagree with some of that. I don't like auto-equip items. I like manually opening up the menu and selecting manually what items I want to equip or what weapons or armor. I don't like auto-equip stuff. But speed up battles, yeah, I mean that's. I usually don't use it unless I'm grinding. I use it for grinding. If I can't use it for grinding, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I don't really care for the speed up option unless the battle system is really slow. But for example, in a boss fight, I wouldn't use it. I would just use it for regular battles or to grind, like I said. So yes, I do believe modern RPGs need a speed up battle option. All of them, every single one of them. Especially if they're gonna make you grind, right? Last questions, everybody. Would be nice if we get a new kind of JRPG. What do you mean? What kind of JRPG would you like to see? Like a new genre, like a new subgenre? I mean, there's turn-based, there's action, there's strategy, there's roguelike. There are a lot of hybrids out there too. What do you want? A rhythm RPG, maybe? Isn't there like Final Fantasy and rhythm games are kind of RPG-ish? Shorts will help you gain subscribers. Yes, but I think if I started doing shorts, it will piss off a lot of people like that guy here, and they will unsubscribe. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know about shorts. I don't know. A JRPG turn-based first-person shooter game, hybrid game, or some random thing. Oh man. There's Poison Control, which is a third-person shooter RPG. I haven't played it. It's Poison Control. Shorts gives me non-related videos, so I turn it off. Same here. That's really annoying too. I mean, you got a lot of shorts from channels and videos that are like, I mean, what the? I don't want to watch this. I'm not interested in this. Why are you showing me this? Yeah. Have you tried Western grid-based strategy games like XCOM? Yes, I tried XCOM. I liked it. I liked The Enemy Within on the PlayStation 3. But I also played Wasteland 2, and it was just awful. I hated the game. I didn't like it. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. And that's it for today. This was another edition of the goddamn Q&A. I hope you enjoyed the discussions, the topics, the review, the poll, etc. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks as usual. These Q&As go bi-weekly. Check out my books if you haven't, link in the description. Check out my podcast, link in the description. You gotta subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and that's it. No shorts. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you